Good evening, Ejiro. Are you with us? May I request you to unmute yourself and switch on your camera? Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Global Digital Annual Women Economic Forum
Thank
2021.
you. It's so lovely to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
It is lovely to see you and lovely to see all those beautiful creations of yours.
Oh, thank you so much.
Audience out there, Ejiro is the CEO of Ejiro Amos Tefiri. Did I get that right?
Yes, good job. Yes, you did.
Thank you. And she's going to speak on creativity has no boundaries. Ejiro is a fashion designer, and I think it's such an apt topic for her to talk on. But before I hand it over to you, Ejiro, I take privilege. It is my privilege to announce the prestigious WEF award that is being conferred on you, the Exceptional Leader Excellence. So,
thank you so much. Thank
congratulations, and it is over to
you.
you.
Thank you.
You will get, I think, almost 13 minutes to talk. And at the end of your time, which is 9:50, 9:45, it will get automatically cut. So,
Okay.
so it's over
Thank
to
you
you.
so
Please
much.
carry on. I will be here listening to you. Carry on.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be part of this forum today, the Women Economic Forum. And welcome to my session, Creativity Has No Boundaries. What is creativity, you may say? Creativity is the use of imagination, original ideas to create something, inventiveness. I would like to also say creativity is innovation, and creativity equals innovation, and this drives our world and the evolution of the world that we actually live in. So my name is Ejiro Emostafiri. I'm the founder of the women's wear brand and fashion company, Ejiro Emostafiri. We've been 11 years in business, and it's such an honor to be here. So quickly into why I chose the topic creativity has no boundaries. I like to say creativity is not only something that is the preserve of the creatives, as we like to call it. You know, when people are artists or musicians, writers, they say it's creative. But I think everyone in this line could be creative because we emerge from the ultimate supreme being God, who is the most creative person of all. I mean, look from one person to the other, we are not exactly the same. And something as simple as our thumbprint is unique to each individual, and our DNA is also unique. So that tells you the depth and the diversity of what creativity could be. Creativity is just the audacity to think different, to view something from a different lens. I mean, we all probably like to see things the same way. Or, you know, when we're growing up as children, we come into this world, we don't even have stereotypes. But when we start to grow, our cultures, the adults around us, our parents, society start to give us, this is how things are supposed to be. And that usually limits the way we see things or how experimental we go out to do things. And I'm here to just encourage somebody, especially in business as women, to dare to be different. We cannot go about growing our businesses the same way we maybe learned from every other person, because first of all, we are unique. We have our own unique superpowers as women. We can multitask, we can do so many things all at the same time. And we know how to think about things in layers, and that's like creativity. So I'm just going to share how that has helped me in building my own business and brand by sharing the Adrian Mustafiri story with you. So now, Adrian Mustafiri was birthed about 11 years ago. I was this wide-eyed, fresh graduate of very humble parents, civil servant parents. And back then, fashion designing, of owning a fashion brand, was the preserved exclusive of the children of the rich, so to speak, in my locale in Lagos, in Nigeria. At least the kind of brand I wanted to have, that international brand, have that international presence, have a voice in the fashion industry, and to be a voice to be reckoned with. And I had studied fashion in university, technical higher education, that's Yabatech. And then I had worked in the industry for about 3 years. And so I studied my environment, which is the first thing about creativity. You must know what's already on ground, what already obtains for you to even say you want to do something different. How is it? How does it exist? How is it currently being done? And so I already knew what was stacked up against me, by doing my own SWOT analysis and what it would take for me to do my business. And how did I get through all of this? So I went ahead to say, what are my strengths, my technical skills. So I can actually design, I can make clothes pretty well, with very minimal resources. Having gone to an art school in Nigeria, was one of the tasks we're always given. Do a lot with very little. So I was very comfortable with starting with almost nothing. So I had less than $100 in my account when I started my business, and I didn't even touch it. So I started my business with a bag full of scraps I had collected all through my um, university days, and then while I was working, and a sewing machine. I was my first staff. I was my first researcher. I was my first marketer. Everything. So I saved that money for eventualities. I didn't even use it. So I moved back home and I used my parents' resources. I used my bedroom and I used my parents' power. I turned my bedroom into my first office. So I would research by night, and by day I would produce garments, and in the evenings I will go market the clients. And within a month, I found avenues and outlets to exhibit my outfit. And instead of just going for this exhibition head on, I went to visit the exhibition stands first. I went for the event first to view the layout. And I saw what every other person was doing. And I'm like, if I'm supposed to stand out, I don't have the luxury of time. I don't come from the same social class as these people. How am I going to make sure they notice me? So I studied all the kind of things they were doing, and boy, did I prepare to go to that exhibition. I brought out all the big guns. I went with a plasma screen. I went with a unique rack. I picked everything different from what every other person was doing. So if they had black racks, I picked the silver rack. If they had wooden hangers, I picked silver hangers. And then I did my branding uniquely. Like I said, I did my SWOT analysis. So I had friends from art school who were graphic artists and all of that. So I leveraged on that. My branding was pretty unique. I had my website up and running. I had my every other thing regarding my brand there. And so that immediately I started setting up my stand, my booth was super unique and attractive. I even paid very early, so I picked a strategic position. So no one came into that place without noticing me. Guess what? At the end of that day, I had shared my business cards to the topmost stylists in the industry, and within a week, a picture of my garment was on the most beautiful girl of Nigeria's most beautiful girl. That's the girl that goes to represent us at Miss World, on the front cover of the biggest fashion magazine. Here I was, fresh out of a job, just 1 month, and then everyone would just see my driving to traffic, Omomi Akinefesi in Ejiro Mastafiri on the front cover. That literally changed my world and the trajectory of the growth of my company. And I didn't stop there. And so I just kept applying that same thought to everything. How do I get in their faces with minimal resources, using what I had and not just throwing money at everything? Now, I wasn't doing paid ads because I didn't have it. But in this same magazine, people had paid hundreds of thousands of naira and millions to be inside this magazine. Here I was because I presented my brand really well on the front cover, for free. And that went on and on. So packaging, branding, communication with people, and within a few more weeks, I was on 2 international stages. So we have Arise Fashion Week in Africa. I did Arise that same year, and there's also Origin Africa Showcase. They found my website online, USAID, and they invited me to represent Nigeria and Mauritius. And that just kicked off my international career. I dared to think differently. I dared to say, you know what? I know this is what it takes to own a fashion brand. You have all this money, you create this collection abroad, you print your fabrics, but I didn't have that. But I had technical skill, I had technical know-how, and I focused on that, and I honed that, and I leveraged on the fact that I had friends that were other artists, and I brought that into the space. Something else I also did was to really understand the Adrian Mustafiri woman. So I was targeting the right audience. I wasn't playing games. I wasn't really trying to dress my friends and just be pretty or just act out. I didn't even wear my pieces until 5 years down the line when I could afford to buy a car, because I knew my brand was for upwardly mobile women. So it was that intentional. How did I get my first store on the biggest high street in Nigeria, Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, Lagos? Um, it was the audacity of faith and daring to do it differently. So I had traveled to London to represent Nigeria at the Olympics. I always got all these represent Nigeria opportunities because I just did not think the way most designers would think. Oh, we have to go it this way. And I'm like, no, there are so many opportunities. I worked with the Bank of Industry. I worked with every organization that there was set out to help creatives, British Council. So I never just stayed narrow. The thing is to grow certain things, you have to look at the wider basket and pick and make interesting decisions as you go along the way, which is what I did. And I apply creativity to that. Okay, if I work with this brand or if I work on this platform, how does it portray my brand? It's opportunity cost, and that's creative thinking. You have to know why you're doing this at this particular point in time and why you're doing that and not doing this. And that, I would say, is the secret behind the growth of Adrian Mustafiri. And like I said, think differently. Like Nigerians are Anglophone and we like to, we are like within ourselves. If we want to do shows, it's just within Nigeria, or we go to Ghana. No, I did different. I went to almost every francophone country. So I reached out to them. I became friends with them. So I did all their fashion weeks. Networked with different creatives there. Got to have friends and started having customers from those places. So to Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, Dakar, Senegal. I have network. I have people. I have the creative industry and myself. We're connected, and then I also have clients from those places. I was even supposed to be at the show. I'm supposed to be speaking from Guinea right now, but I couldn't travel because unfortunately I got tested for COVID and it came out positive. But hey, here I am, we move. So even with like growing my team, also interestingly, I had to think about it creatively. What about it? I mean, I don't have that Thank you so much. Thank you. I had to get out of bed like a few minutes ago to jump up and get ready to get here. But I'm here anyway, and so I'm happy to be
Yeah, I
here.
know. We were told you were not well. And so we are
Yes.
doubly happy that you're here today. And your story is very inspiring. Go on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sadia. Okay, so as I was saying, even with my team, I knew I couldn't afford the level of technical know-how I needed to get the quality of clothes I wanted out of my small production hub. What did I do? I took people who had no training, who had no hope, who could barely finish high school, and I taught them. I'm like, hey, guess what? I paid all this money to get this technical higher education. I'll teach you for free. Just come work with me. Let's build something. You know what? People abroad, people everywhere else, they have heads like us. They have brains like we do. We can do this. And then we out of our little tiny rural area, we did reach every part of the world. I'm like, guys, if we can travel, if we can't get on a plane physically, let the work of our hands travel. And so that's creative thinking, and that's doing things. But these people took it upon themselves. I'm like, when you go to the mall just to stroll, you want to see women wearing the clothes that you sewed by the work of your hands, and then you say, oh, I made this dress and I remember what happened. And by doing that, we're able to build a team, build this amazing brand. And Adrian Mustafiri story today, we've grown to become one of Africa's topmost brands. Oh, okay, I'll be quick. one of Africa's topmost brands. We are in several stores. We've grown to have 3 of our own stores. We have a training school. We have over 50 proteges running their own brand. So what am I saying here? What am I giving you to take away? Know your SWOT. Think differently. Plot the graph of where you are now to where you will go, 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, and then apply, create your own roadmap to these places. Do not go the way everyone else before you has gone. I mean, if you have the same SWOT analysis, strength and weakness as the person you are trying to follow, probably. But I believe in individuality and I believe in uniqueness. And I know that if you think creatively and think differently about different things, then you'll be able to achieve your dreams. So please go today, know your dream, articulate it, know yourself, and know how you want to get there, and be given to give of yourself to get to where you want to go. Sacrifice, work hard, work smart, network, and achieve your dreams. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you very much.
That was truly, truly inspirational. I can't wait for tomorrow to go and work hard and reach my dreams. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And get
Thank you,
well.
Sadia. It was lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. Thank you, WEF team. I look forward to the days when we don't have COVID and we can actually meet in person, and share hugs and all of that. All of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Did I do okay? Hope I didn't go rambling too much.